Mr. Ramirez. Would you please introduce yourself for the ladies and gentlemen of this fine jury?
Hello, my name is Robert Ramirez.
All right. And Mr. Ramirez, where are you from?
I'm from Chicago, right here.
Chicago. Born and raised there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
26. And do you have a family?
I do. I have a son.
A son?
Named him Robert Jr., actually.
Oh, very good.
The light of my eye.
All right. Do you have a wife?
I did. I have a wife. Love of my life. I definitely married up, but she passed away not long ago. So.
Very sorry to hear that. All right. And did you have a job? Do you have a job?
I haven't. Not really a good one now. I used to be a construction worker. Love construction work. Working with my hands. Love seeing the completed product of what I've done. It's great.
So you had a construction job. Do you have that job now?
I do not have that job now. No, I don't.
And what's the reason that you don't?
Well, I was shot.
You were shot?
Actually, yeah.
And when were you shot?
December 7th, 1996. I was shot in the back.
And is that the point at which you lost your construction job? When did you?
Oh yeah, well, I couldn't work. I mean, I was shot through the clavicle, hit the spine, really messed up my back. I've just been swimming in medical bills, and I'm really hurt now. I'm not really able to work like I was before.
Have you recovered from those injuries?
I mean, somewhat. I mean, I've made some progress, but no, not fully. Definitely not.
Have you been able to ever work the same construction job that you
not
had
the same
before?
Not the same as I did before. No.
Okay. All right. And so you were shot December 7th, 1996. What happened that night that you got shot? Where were you at? Which is to begin with.
Well, to start out with, I went over to my friend's house, Louie's house.
Okay.
Louie's a good friend of mine. Yeah.
And how do you know Louie?
Well, we were boyhood friends actually. Went to high school together and played on the same softball team now. And so, yep.
You played softball together. Okay. Yep. Was anyone else there?
Yeah, Joe. Joe was also there.
Who's Joe?
He's another childhood friend. We've been friends for a long time, all three of us, and he's also on our softball team.
Oh, good. Okay, so you have a softball team together. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. What were you doing at Louie's house?
We went over there to watch the game. It was Chicago. I think they were playing Cleveland. Actually.
Okay. All right. So you're watching the game. Did you do anything else that night at Louie's house?
Yeah. After the game, it was a good game. We played some cards.
Played cards. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you eat or drink anything?
We had a few beers.
Okay.
I think one of us had brought over a six-pack. I don't remember who brought the six-pack, but I think we finished that off.
A six-pack of beer finished off between how many?
Between the three of us.
Between three. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what happened next? Did you go anywhere else?
After we were done playing cards, we decided to go downtown and get a few drinks.
Okay. Downtown. Where downtown?
Down in Chicago.
I mean, what location?
Just a few bars.
Okay, a few bars. How many bars?
A bar downtown. We were down in the, where were we at? I think we went to Bunk Hill or whatever.
Okay, so how many total different bars did you?
We went to 3 total bars.
Okay, 3 total bars. Okay, all right. So 3 bars. How many? Did you have anything more to drink?
Yeah, I had a few drinks at the first bar and maybe about 5 to 6 total.
Okay, 5 to 6 total. Does that include the
No, I had
beers
about 5 or 6 drinks, and then I think I had 2 beers.
Okay, so 5 or 6 drinks at the bars, and then 2 more beers at Louie's house. Okay, and what did you do next?
After that, we went out. Actually, we were having some arguments about who was the fastest, so we went out to the softball field, and we had some races. We ran around.
Okay, and so you ran around a softball field. About what time was this?
This is, I think we left the last bar getting close to 2. Got there a little after 2.
Okay, and what time was the original game you were watching at Louie's house?
I think it started at 8 o'clock.
So the party started at 8 o'clock, and now this was 2 o'clock in the morning at the park where you're running around.
Yeah.
Okay. So from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock is when.
So about 6 hours.
Okay. All right. So what happened next? Did you do anything else that night?
Well, at that time I just decided to head home. I mean, I wanted to get home to my family, and it was already after 2, and so I was ready to go home. And
okay, so did you start heading home at that point?
I did.
Okay.
I got in my car and started.
Okay. What happened next?
Well, on the way home, I got onto North Avenue, and then I was turning onto California. At some point in there, I came upon a car that was driving like super slow. It was
like how slow?
Maybe 5 miles per hour.
Okay.
Really bad.
Were you able? Did you try to pass them? Were you able to pass them?
I was not able to pass him.
Did you try to pass him?
I tried. Yeah, I did. I actually flashed at him. I honked. I was trying to make him see that I was there so I could get around him. I mean, like, if you want to drive that slow, usually you'll pull over and let someone go by, but he actually swerved out and blocked me off. It was
He swerved in front of you and blocked you off.
Oh, yeah.
Did he do this more than once?
Kind of crazy. Yeah, a couple times.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right, and so you had some drinks over the course of the night. Were you in control of your car? Did you have trouble staying on the road?
I was in control. I mean, I was feeling good.
Okay. All right, and at what point, what happened next?
At that point, I mean, the car eventually turned onto Evergreen Street, and so I turned onto Evergreen after the car.
So you turned onto Evergreen after the car. Okay, well, just so there's no confusion, among the jury, I have Exhibit A here. Show the street names. So you said you were on which street here?
I was on California.
California.
Driving here, and the car that I was following, I mean, we were driving this way, and he made a left, and he actually pulled over and stopped on the side of the road. So
okay. So he was parked here. Where were you parked?
Yeah, I just pulled up right next to him, right here.
Right next to him.
Parallel.
Okay, parallel.
I mean, a few feet in between the car. I don't know how many, but
okay, all right. So he pulled up off of California onto Evergreen, and they parked next to each other. Okay, all right. And at what point did he? What did he do? You said he stopped, and you stopped parallel to him. What happened then?
Well, I got out of the car, and I was actually first I was yelling at him. Then we both got out of the car, each of our cars actually.
Okay, and you said you got out first.
Yeah, I think I don't recall which one.
Don't recall. Okay. Okay, and what did you said you were yelling at him? Were you talking to him, shouting at him?
Yeah, I was yelling at him, yeah.
Okay, all right, and what were you saying to him?
I was calling him an idiot and so forth, and
okay.
Chicago, it's horrible traffic, it's all because of people like that, and, maybe a few words that I would probably rather not.
Okay, was there anything other than words happening at this point?
No.
Only words. Did you physically attack him? Did you do anything physically to him?
I didn't even give him the bird.
Okay, all right. Okay, so it's strictly verbal. And then what happened then? You said he got out of his car too. What happened?
Yeah, he also got out of his car, and as we approached each other, we were kind of exchanging words. There was a bit of an altercation, and then he just punched me in the nose.
Okay,
punched me right.
Just a second though. So there were words. Was there any physical interaction or altercation at all before he punched you?
No.
None. Okay. So did he punch you first?
Yes.
Okay. What happened then?
He punched me, and I'm a carpenter. I'm pretty fit, and so I wasn't just gonna let him beat me up. So
you punched him back.
I punched him back. We had, left, right. We had it going.
Okay. Then what happened?
Well, then eventually, as we scuffled, we banged up against the car, and eventually he knocked me down to the ground, and we fell to the ground, and the fight ensued. Yeah.
Okay. What happened then? After you were on the ground?
Well, then he yelled police, and so I stopped fighting. I actually threw my hands back. I said, "Show me some ID, dude. Show me some ID."
And did he show you any ID?
He didn't show me ID. He did stop fighting, but he didn't show me any ID. He sort of got off me, and
was the fight over at this point?
Basically, yeah, the fight was over. I mean, we weren't hitting each other at all, and so I just started to get up off the ground at that point.
Okay, and then what happened?
And as I was getting up, I actually felt a sharp pain in my shoulder.
Okay.
And I looked over and I saw these boots standing next to me. I was like, well, what did you do that for? I assumed like his partner, I guess, had gotten out of the car, and I wasn't sure what happened. I thought he may have kicked me at that time.
Okay. All right. And were you, at the time of this, what you felt was a kick or a sharp blow, where were you at precisely? Were you still on the ground?
I was just getting up. I was just pushing up, and I felt that blow.
Were you all fours on the ground? Did you have your hands?
I was on my back.
You're on your back.
And I was sitting up to push.
Okay, okay, but you were still at least sitting on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. So you're on. Okay, and then you felt the blow, and then okay. Let me ask you this: did you use a knife at all during the course, or any deadly weapon, any gun, any knife, anything other than your fist during the fight?
No, sir.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Did you touch a knife or any deadly weapon during the fight?
No, sir.
Did you see anything other than fists during the fight?
No.
Okay. All right, and another Exhibit B for the jury. This is the knife. a lock knife, and I just have a question for you. Did you see this knife or anything like it on the night?
Never seen that knife until I came into court.
Did you touch it at all?
Did not touch it.
Have you seen it?
No.
You recognize this knife?
No.
You own this knife?
No.
Okay. And Mr. Ramirez, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm left-handed.
You're left-handed. Okay. All right. And okay, so after you got shot, which you felt like a kick or whatever, what happened then?
Yeah, it turned out to be, well, I was kind of starting to black out, and just before I blacked out, I heard one of the officers say, "So what should we do with him now? Just leave him?"
And that's the last thing you heard?
That's the last thing I heard.
And then what happened?
Then I woke up with, people looking at me,
See,
presumably at the hospital.
were you unconscious at this point?
When I woke up, I was conscious,
Okay.
but I
Before
blacked out, yeah.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.